Ukraine can end its war with Russia, quote, almost immediately. That's what U.S. President Donald Trump says, but adds that Kyiv would have to accept Russia's 11-year occupation of Crimea and cede the territory to Moscow. Trump's statement, posted on Truth Social, comes on the eve of another summit to try and end the conflict. And it may complicate talks, as just days ago, most EU leaders signed a statement calling for Ukraine's borders to be respected and not changed by force. Still, Ukraine and its European allies aren't done trying to end the war on terms they can accept. They've been preparing for a meeting in Washington Monday. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy will be there, backed up by European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and 4 European leaders. For Zelenskyy, there are 2 important goals. One is a ceasefire, as he says it's impossible to negotiate while fighting. But then there's the need for future security guarantees for Ukraine to make sure Russian troops don't come back. He suggests something like Article 5 of the NATO Charter that states an attack on one member is an attack on all.
And this is our main task. We need security to work in practice, like Article 5 of NATO, and we consider EU accession to be part of security guarantees. And we have heard from President Trump that America and Putin see it the same way. So we talked about the EU accession negotiations.
Some in the U.S. suggest an Article 5-like arrangement could work, though the specifics would need hammering out. Trump's special envoy to Russia, Steve Witkoff, had this to say to Fox News Sunday.
It means that the United States is potentially prepared to be able to give Article 5 security guarantees, but not from NATO, directly from the United States and other European countries. That is big. I mean, really big.
But Russia has long felt bitter about NATO's eastward expansion towards its borders since the 1990s. And some in Russia, including Moscow's envoy to international organizations in Vienna, Mikhail Ulyanov, says Russia needs its own security guarantees. As officials talk peace and security, the war steamrolls on. Footage shows the aftermath of reported Russian shelling in the Ukrainian town of Dobropilya. Local police say the shelling happened Saturday, just around the time of another summit on peace talks between Russian President Vladimir Putin and U.S. President Donald Trump. EU leaders joining Zelenskyy hope to put on a united front and avoid the hostility from Trump and U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance that abruptly derailed Zelenskyy's February trip to Washington. With tough questions about Ukraine's future and deep division over how to end this conflict, it's not likely they'll have an easy time. Luffy Lee and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.